My spouse was injured in an accident. Do I have a claim? And we see this a lot. We have this question where somebody gets hurt, maybe their husband or their wife is in a significant car accident, they're hospitalized, they're disabled, they're unable to work. And as a spouse, you have to give up your time. It impacts your marriage. You're not able to do the things that you were able to do before. And that's called a loss of consortium claim. And in Connecticut, a spouse does have a claim if one of their spouses, if their spouse was injured and unable to, do the things that they did before, or you've got to take time to care and it's impacted your life. Now, loss of consortium claims can be brought in any case, but they're commonly brought in very, much more serious cases where people, their spouse may be bedridden for a significant amount of time, or there's somebody has to take leave, or there's some real significant burden, because we know, juries aren't going to, compensate somebody for, sort of an average burden. So, throughout the year, your spouse may get a cold. A jury's not going to give you money if the inconvenience is a cold. But if it's like, you relied on your husband or your wife to, say, mow the lawn, and now you've got to do it, household chores, sexual relations, all those things can be compensable under a loss of consortium claim. At Connecticut Trial Firm, we have the largest verdict in state history, $10 million, on a loss of consortium claim. And there's a few things you really need to know before you bring one of these claims. The first is that it opens up your marriage. So maybe you didn't have the best marriage, or maybe you did, but it's going to open up a window for the defense lawyer to ask about those things. You may be asked questions about your sex life if you're making a claim that you're unable to, it interfered with your sexual relations. May open up your history. Did you used to take vacations together? What is the sort of state of the marriage to gauge the impact? And the other thing to know is that the claims are what's called a derivative claim. So it only means that you have a claim if your spouse has a claim. So if a jury found that your spouse had no claim, you wouldn't have one independently of that. Or conversely, for insurance coverage, say there's $100,000 in coverage, your spouse's claim is worth $100,000. There's no more insurance there. That's the maximum policy that's available. You're not able to get more money, which can be a little bit of a confusing thing, because we see policies that say, $100,000 per person, $300,000 per occurrence, something like that. You're only going to be treated as one person for purposes of insurance. So those are things to know. But if you've been in an accident and you want to know your rights, you can give us a call, 860-471-8333, because loss of consortium claims can be very serious claims.